So if you have a husky and you have a backyard, you know what I'm talking about. They will dig in the backyard. So in this video, I want to talk about, the reasons why they dig in the yard. I really had to battle this for years. Um, and I don't have a backyard anymore, so I guess I won that battle. But here I want to talk about the reasons why they dig, right? It's more than one reason, and what to do about it. So the first one is they just have too much energy. I really notice when I take him out more often, I really run down that energy. He didn't dig, right? But when, let's say, it's rainy or whatever, or it gets really cold, I don't want to go out. Even if I just skip one day, he will destroy my yard. I don't know if he's vindictive or what, but I think that's definitely the energy there. You wanna pay attention to that. Now, he's getting a little bit. My goodest boy over here he's 8.5 years old. I don't think he has the energy to dig anymore. Not to a significant degree, but that's something you want to pay attention if you got a younger husky. All right. So the second reason is you might have moles in your backyard. So I remember buying a house, and it was a house that was probably sitting there for like a month or two, maybe even three. I can't remember. I think it was a rental, and I bought it. There's a lot of dandelions in the front yard, in the backyard, and everything. So, um, and what I noticed later on was there's these piles of dirt. Obviously, there's moles and maybe even groundhogs. I don't know, but I saw him digging in the yard like trenches. Like he was digging everywhere, and I was wondering why. And I was also kind of taking him out for lots of exercise at the time. It did not stop him from digging. So I was very curious, and eventually he actually caught a mole. I wish I had recorded it, but he was playing with that mole for 1.5 hours in the backyard. He would drop that mole in the yard, and then he would pounce on that mole, and that mole would then move, and um so he would pounce on it again, and that mole would basically keep moving until they reach the other side of the yard, and he picks the mole back up and drop it back in the original spot. It was torture for that mole. And so he was doing that for 1.5 hours until I realized what it was going on. So I ended up killing the mole and got rid of it. But he was actually upset with me taking away his toy. Um, so that's the second reason. You might have critters or moles or whatever else that is in your yard, um, that is prompting that behavior, because they have really strong prey drive, and they also have really good nose, sense of smell, so they can smell it. All right, so the third reason is they have an instinct to hide food. I gave him like a really big piece of, I think it was like a femur bone, basically, part of a beef shank. He was just he loved it, and he dug up the yard and he basically buried it in there. And I saw him do that a couple of times. So this is one of the things that huskies love to do. um, so, um, that's the third reason. I eventually trained him out of that just by doing two things. One is I give him consistently these food items that he likes. He realized there's no reason to dig and hide them anymore. Um, I trained him out of that over about a year or so. So it was a slow process. Okay, the fourth reason is, you'll see this quite often, is they dig up the dirt and then they sit in it to cool down. They like that cool temperature. Um, so what I noticed is if you have um, certain types of grass in your backyard, and the temperature is kind of nice, it will they will he it wouldn't dig as much. But for some reason, um, if there's certain types of grass that don't feel as cool. And you can touch your backyard and you know what I'm talking about. I noticed he would dig more often. So strangely enough, keeping your backyard, um, turf grass, healthy might actually help prevent or fight against this digging behavior. All right, so another reason, this one is a big one, is you want to be very careful when you engage them when you see them dig. So they are attention whores. They love attention, right? So this guy, he loves attention. Whenever I give him attention, he loves it. So if you see, if every time they dig in the yard, you immediately rush out and engage them, and especially a lot of times they think you're playing with them, that's gonna be bad. They will go back to dig, and then in order to get that attention again. So you want to be very, very careful. So what do you do with it? So first thing is, get rid of moles in the backyard. Usually when you have a husky moving in, all of these critters will leave. They they know not to mess with a big dog. So usually it just situation just takes care of itself. The second thing is you want to just make sure that you're not rewarding them with attention. When you try to get them back from digging, you just get them back in the house, and that's it, right? You don't want to reward them with more attention or playing with them, things like that. And the other thing is, keep them cool. Keep them cool. If they're not cool, they're going to be trying to dig and try to sit in there to cool down. And give lots of exercise. You will be surprised how many issues with huskies can be solved simply by exercising them and getting that energy down. All right, hopefully this helps. The goodest boy signing out.